Hello, hello, sweet souls. I hope this finds you well. So today I'm doing a video before I head out for hike. This is really for recovering people pleasers. Let me turn this down. Hang on one sec. There we go. So this video is for recovering people pleasers. And what happens for nice girls or nice guys when we're young is we really take on a persona. We really take on the imprinting of everything and everyone around us. And when you come into the world with an inferior ego, so again, this is for empaths. This is for sensitive souls. This is for light workers, grid keepers, frequency keepers, star seeds, the really highly sensitive beings on the planet right now who are here helping the shift. One of the biggest things that you're going to need to do, that we all have to do along this journey, is really stand in our power. And you'll hear myself, you'll hear other, coaches or guides or teachers or speakers talk about this, but what the fuck does it actually mean, right? Stand in your power, blah, blah, whatever. What does it mean? How can we ground that energy and make it practical? And that's what I want to do for you today. When you are a recovering people pleaser, a nice girl, a nice guy, you have this limiting belief that says that your needs don't matter, or that the needs that you have to go behind everybody else's. You're the kind of person that would rather yourself get hurt than you hurt somebody else. And so you stay in relationships that aren't healthy for you. You stay in jobs that aren't healthy for you. You keep doing things and enabling the people around you because you're so afraid of what they're going to think of you. You're so afraid of losing their love. Okay. And that usually comes from a young upbringing for all of us, for most of us, where we took on a lot of responsibility. We were that really good kid, and everyone was just like, your kid's so great and they're so well behaved and blah, 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 whatever. And we're those old souls that grew up really fast, took on a lot of responsibility. And now here we are 30, 40, 50, 60 years later. And standing in our power, you standing in your power, is really about shifting that old belief that says, and let's just change it. Let's just change it right now. That old belief that is not true, it was never true, it will never be true for you again, is my needs and feelings are just as important as anyone else's. And let's say you're struggling in a relationship with someone, maybe it's a parent, a sibling, a coworker, a colleague. My needs and feelings are just as important as so-and-so, my sister, my brother, my whatever. My needs, my feelings are just as important. When you come into the world with an inferior ego, you have to remember the empaths, the sensitive souls, we're literally the exact opposite to a narcissistic personality. A narcissistic personality has a superior ego. This should be done for me. It's me before everybody else. Mine, me, look over here, right? And that's why those relationships attract and mesh, and serve each other so well, because the empath, the highly sensitive soul, truly has an old belief that's not true, but has the belief and the reality that says, I'm worthless, I'm not good enough, it's everybody else before me. So of course they attract that person, that other being, that narcissistic personality that says, it's all about me. I'm always first, right? Do you see how these work together? And the empath needs the narcissist, because without that experience for the soul, you wouldn't gain the wisdom to move past that. And the soul is here to explore. The soul, the spirit in you, is an adventurer. We're here to feel, we're here to explore, we're here to have so many different experiences so that we can gain the wisdom from the wounds, right? show ourselves, show up for ourselves, and learn. And this isn't easy. And this is why most people resist it, because it's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. The things that we're here to learn and do, a lot of the times it does come naturally to us, but we've resisted it for so long that it doesn't come naturally to us. And so when we have to change that internal belief, which therefore brings up a lot of suppressed emotion, which therefore we have to feel and let that emotion come back up through the center of the heart, the kingdom of the heart. And we have to actually do some stuff in our life. And this is where light workers and star seeds and all you beautiful ascension beings get stuck, is that you just think that if you pray over it and do your journal work over it and affirm over it and meditate over it, your life is miraculously going to change. Your relationships are miraculously going to change, and they're not. And this is the part that you have to get. That quantum world, that invisible side of life and success, that stuff only works when you anchor it. It only works when you channel it through and you ground the energy and you actually practically do things differently in your environment right here and right now. And somewhere again in the new age spiritual community, people just started thinking that, oh, well, as long as I change my mind and as long as I change my thoughts, my life will change. And that is very true. But that is only half of the equation. The other half of the equation is you have to actually change and do some stuff, right? So when you're changing the belief from, I don't matter, I'm not good enough, my needs don't matter, and it's everybody else before me, when you change that belief, the domino effect rolls over into your physical or material world through the mental, emotional, and spiritual. We're all connected. It's all one big soup, okay? So when you're working in one field, it's going to affect the other. And this is where you, as spirit and form, has to show up for yourself. This is where you're going to have resistance. You're going to self-sabotage yourself. You're going to get stuck in your head because that's a place that you're comfortable living. You're going to get stuck in your emotions because likely you're a very overly emotional person, right? You're going to get stuck because you actually have to let the energy flow through. You got to feel those feelings. You've got to become curious. You've got to stand up for yourself. You've got to take you've got to take the helm of your own ship and tell your ego to go sit down for a moment, right? It thinks it's doing you a favor, but it's not. It's keeping you stuck. The ego isn't bad, by the way. It's just an aspect of you, so don't get crazy on it. You integrate with it. The ego is like your first mate, but you're the captain, right? That's how you can see that. But when you change the belief, and beliefs change through repetition, you've thought the same thing for 30, 40, 50 years. You're not just going to journal about it, affirm it once, and your life changes. You have to show up every day and keep reaffirming my needs, my feelings are just as important as anyone else's. It is safe for me to take care of myself. It is safe for me to ask for what I want. It is safe for me to communicate. It is safe for me to say no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. And it is safe for me to say no and not have to feel bad about it. It is safe for me to check in with myself and say, do I really want to do what I'm being asked to do? Do I have the energy? Do I have the time? You likely don't. And yet you've been in this pattern of over giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, but you haven't filled up your own cup first. So you're likely also a very suppressed, angry light worker or starseed or grid keeper, because you've been giving and giving and giving and giving everything that you have never been willing to give to yourself. So as you change your mind, as you change your thoughts, as you reaffirm, and now this is the piece I really want you to get, show up for yourself in action, in form, in the physical. You change your habits. You change your behaviors. You may even change your environment once you start actually understanding, what do I need? What are my needs? I haven't thought about what I want in so long. I don't even know what I want. That might be where you're at, and that's okay. But once you gain that clarity, what do I even want? I've been so focused on everything else, everyone else, and I've been so worried and living in fear about what everybody else will think of me if I take care of myself first, if I put my needs ahead of theirs, if I take that hour every night that I know I need just to have a soak in the tub and listen to some uplifting music or some relaxing music and do an online program that I've always wanted to do. In our old minds, in our old ways of thinking, we would rather not do those things for ourselves and go back to an old pattern. And so you will try to sabotage yourself and you will be tested along the way. And you may not like that word tested, and that's fine, but you will. Your spirit's gonna come in and check on you and be like, hey, I hear you've been, changing your mind. Good for you. Let's just see if that's really true for you. And if you're really willing to stand in your power, let's just test this out. The moment you're about to go take that bath, read that book, go for that walk, sit in nature, the phone's going to ring. One of your kids is going to go, I don't know, want something from you. Somebody, some way, somewhere, something's going to come up. It's going to test you. It's going to rattle you. It's going to see if you're really walking your walk, talking the talk, if you're really showing up for yourself. And, I wanted to do this recording in this video today because I know this is where a lot of people are stuck right now. A lot of empath, sensitive souls are feeling even more repressed right now with what's going on around the planet as we go through this shift than ever before. And the reality is that there are no rules, there are only realities. And the universe will rearrange itself to match the reality that you're holding. And so we change our realities, we change our worlds by first changing our mind. We create through mind, we create through thought. So if you keep on thinking a thought that isn't serving you, if you keep on thinking a thought that was never really yours, right? A belief is just a thought you've kept on thinking. But as a little kid, you just did what you could do to get by. You wanted to be loved. You wanted to be safe. You wanted validation. So you played a role. You played the people pleaser. You played the do-gooder. You played the good little boy or the good little girl. That's okay, but that's over now. And you have to be willing to start thinking the new thought, showing up for yourself in the new way, creating the habits and behaviors and environment that come all together so that now you're living from your higher self. Now you're making manifest the real, true, authentic you, which your needs and your feelings and your desires matter. And they are just as important as anybody else's in your life. So that's my message for you today. That's my download for you today. I love you. I am here for you. I work with a lot of empaths, sensitive souls, recovering people pleasers. And, we all have our work to do, right? We all have that inner child self to heal. We all have that shadow to integrate. We all have this, our own individual mission and purpose and reason for being here. And so that means clearing away all the junk that is in the way of us living from that vision, that reality, making manifest those dreams, those desires of our hearts, right? The things that you're called to do, the person that you're called to become. You've had to go through all these different experiences in life to get exactly to where you are right now so that you could watch this video and get this information right here and right now so that you can start making changes in your life to support you, because our planet needs you and not somebody like you, exactly you. So showing up for yourself, healing yourself, doing your work, changing your mind, and then creating in the physical, actually doing some stuff. Keep meditating, keep affirming, keep praying, keep journaling 100%. But then you've got to show up 50-50. You're co-creating with the universe and you're doing the things you're shown to do. That's called being the open channel. That's called grounding the energy. If you don't think you can do that alone, you let me know. I have sessions where I can support you guys, help you particularly and privately through the things that you might be facing or going through, so that we can accelerate you and get you moving through that stuff a lot faster than you trying to do it on your own. Okay. So much love, you guys, from my heart to yours, heading out for a hike. I hope you have an amazing day. Be sure to get out in nature and know that you are dearly loved.